I think this is the beginning of World War III.
You could have World War III.
The fear for World War III might be bigger than we think. But what if I told you that a chips company could be the reason for it? Not these chips, but these chips, also known as semiconductors.
Recently, we've seen how a shortage of computer chips, like the one I have here, is called a semiconductor.
What if I told you that close to 50% of the world's chips and 90% of the cutting-edge semiconductors, like the ones used in the iPhone 12, the PS5, the Toyota Prius, are manufactured in a single country by a single company? And if this company were to collapse, you would see the collapse of the global technology industry and maybe even witness a military invasion. So how did the whole world become so dependent on this one company in this one country for its semiconductors? This is the story of Taiwan and the Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, or TSMC. To understand TSMC and its economic and geopolitical significance, we have to go back to the late 1800s, to the island known as Formosa. It had been conquered by various European colonists, including the Portuguese and the Dutch, as well as several Chinese dynasties, until it ultimately landed in the hands of the Japanese Empire. After Japan lost World War II, the territory was handed back to China, or at the time, the Republic of China, led by Chiang Kai-shek. During this time, China was going through a civil war, and Mao Zedong's Chinese Communist Party defeated Chiang Kai-shek's Republic of China, forcing him to flee to the island of Formosa. Today, Formosa is called Taiwan. After the Civil War, Taiwan was incredibly poor and relied heavily on US economic aid. But by the mid-1960s, the United States decided to phase out this aid as a way to force Taiwan to build its own economy. So Taiwan shifted its policy from an import substitution policy, where they replaced foreign imports with homemade products, to an export-led policy. This shift resulted in an economic boom in Taiwan. By the beginning of the 1980s, the Taiwanese government had started to think about the next step for Taiwan's economic development, and they identified semiconductors as something that would be worth targeting. Shortly after, the first semiconductor company was set up in Taiwan, called United Microelectronics Corporation, or UMC. UMC was a traditionally vertically integrated semiconductor manufacturer, and although it had deep government support and brief periods of profitability, ultimately UMC failed to live up to its promise and found itself producing low-level chips for toys and watches. A few years later, TSMC came on the scene. TSMC, unlike its predecessors in Taiwan, was a third-party semiconductor manufacturer and promoted what's called a fabless semiconductor trend. Okay, so broadly speaking, there are three types of semiconductor manufacturers. The first are the vertically integrated semiconductor manufacturers that represented the majority of the players during the 1980s, including all of TSMC's predecessors in Taiwan. They design and manufacture their chips in-house. Some well-known examples include Intel, Samsung, and Micron. The second are design houses, like Qualcomm or Nvidia, and more recently, Apple with its new M1 chips. These companies design their chips, but to save cost, they outsource manufacturing to other companies. The third group are known as fabrication plants or fabs. They manufacture chips designed by others or in collaboration with others. TSMC not only falls into the third category, it created the third category. It is the world's largest dedicated chip manufacturer. The founder of TSMC, a man named Morris Chang, spent his entire career in the United States, and most of it working for Texas Instruments, where he headed the company's global semiconductor business. In the mid-1980s, when Morris Chang was in his mid-50s, the Taiwanese government offered him to become the chairman and president of the Industrial Technology Research Institute, or ITRI, in Taiwan, which was a government-funded nonprofit that was created to promote industrial and technological development in Taiwan. In 1987, Chang created TSMC. In the early days of TSMC, Chang failed to convince many of his former colleagues and competitors to outsource their manufacturing to Taiwan. This was something that was necessary for him to get the momentum he needed for the business. However, eventually the Dutch company Philips agreed to partner with Taiwan, providing TSMC with some crucial early technology needed to develop semiconductors. This partnership also proved to be instrumental in TSMC's future, as many other organizations followed suit. Today, there are very few companies that actually design and manufacture their chips. Instead, they outsource manufacturing to TSMC, making TSMC one of the most valuable and important companies in the world, and making Taiwan one of the most important countries in the world. But things aren't so peachy for Taiwan. only these 15 countries actually recognize Taiwan's sovereignty and as a consequence do not have official relations with China. To this day, China claims rights over the island of Formosa. In fact, many believe it aspires to take it by military force. But one of the main reasons it's holding back is its overdependence on TSMC for their ever so vital chips. But recently, something has changed. TSMC's clients include the likes of Apple, Nvidia, AMD, Intel, Qualcomm, and until May 2020, the Chinese technology giant Huawei.
We convinced many countries, and I did this myself for the most part, not to use Huawei.
The United States and China trade war has put Huawei on the blacklist for any US vendors, and by extension, any foreign vendors that have US business. As a result, TSMC was forced to stop manufacturing for Huawei. Huawei relies heavily on TSMC to produce everything from their smartphones to the new 5G infrastructure. So TSMC's decision to cut off Huawei, albeit under US pressure, means that the leverage Taiwan had with TSMC against China has disintegrated. In other words, China has nothing to lose, at least when it comes to semiconductors. So you might be wondering, why can't China just develop their own TSMC and manufacture cutting-edge semiconductors? Well, one of the key technologies needed to develop cutting-edge semiconductors cost-effectively is the extreme ultraviolet lithography, or EUV. And there's only one company in the world that sells the necessary technology needed for EUV, and that's the Dutch company ASML. Currently, ASML is under significant pressure from the United States not to sell to China. This puts China's manufacturing capabilities at least 2 generations of chips or a decade behind TSMC. But how long will their technology lag last? Chips power our day-to-day lives, and for that power to lie in the hands of a single company is at best a cause for concern. A concern not only for the global technology industry, but also for Taiwan. If China is able to somehow develop a high-tech fab like TSMC, then it raises questions around not only the existence of TSMC, but around the existence of Taiwan as a whole.